Hi everybody, welcome back. Monday, 6:30 here at Tropical Nomad with our beautiful guest, Yoke Darmawan.
Yay. Correct.
I got it right, didn't I?
Yep.
You see what I mean? Miracles will never cease. I love it. So as you know, those who are watching, we're approaching Speak Up Monday episode 250, very close to it. Wow. And Speak Up Monday is this award-winning deep dive inbound tourism initiative, which gives, maybe if you're outside of Bali right now, maybe you're in Australia or London or the US, as some of you are, it gives you a great insight into what kinds of people, resources, stories that you can find in this beautiful mystical island called Bali. And I'm your host and the founder. My name is Robert Ian Bonnick, otherwise known as a tourism architect. And what I love doing is bringing this sense of unity, of people working together around a common good that's uplifting humanity by bringing together people, resources to create incredible projects. And you know, you're working on an incredible project that we're going to get into in a moment. But if you're watching this and wondering what the creative economy is here in Bali and why it's so important, you've come to the right episode. If you're wondering kind of what makes, you know, this beautiful, energetic, insightful, very, the word is charming. Charming essence, you've come to the right episode. Now, my guest tonight, you know, she's been working as the corporate director of Saba Bay Wineries for some years. She's also had a multitude of businesses, from marketing to PR to launching products, launching people, and being generally a great promoter for what human beings are capable of doing.
So nice.
Yeah, it's so true. So Yoke Darmawan, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Robert, I was kind of like fascinated on how you explain and your contribution to Bali, my appreciation on loving our island the way you do, and how you connect us to the world. And I think that is wonderful, Robert, and especially bringing people to talk and share their experience, their insight, what this island is all about. And that is my appreciation to you and the team. That is so gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much, darling. You know, and one of the things, you know, that first struck me about you, I met you through Saba Bay, and Effie, who was on the show some time ago, and my beautiful partner Marina. You know, one thing that struck me about you was this energy that you have, this frequency of, like, I get the sense, right, of spending like not even 5 minutes with you, that you have this, like, this notion that anything is possible. We can do it.
Yo, definitely.
Let's go and make it happen.
Absolutely.
Right? You got that vibe.
Yes.
But where does it come from? If I would ask you, you know, like, where did you acquire this thing that is essentially uniquely you? What would you say?
I come to the island 33 years ago. I originally come from Jakarta, and then that is definitely a metropolitan city when shoes and makeup are very important. And suddenly I fell in love in Bali, and then 30 years ago when I started to see Bali is home. And from there, I can see on how Bali take care of me. That is the first thing. And just being surrounded by beautiful people, surrounded by beautiful nature, surrounded by possibilities that brought me courage to do beyond my normal background. So I thought, if Bali being so nice, then certainly we can do extra miles for Bali. So that's how I started. So I want to bring back or give back or share my mini knowledge and encourage people to do and reach their potential. That's how it started.
Yeah. You know, we're going to dive deeper. So I just want to get Ayub, if we can turn the cafe music down, that would be great. One thing that comes is that this word courage, right, is a word that we all get a certain feeling. We think courage, we probably think lion, right? Or lioness, right? And I'm looking at you
in
now,
this case.
right? So I get that you're saying that you felt that Mother Bali was looking after you, right? And you felt that. So in a way that gave you courage. But I have an idea that you were not courageous just when you came to Bali. It was in you before you came to Bali. So if I said to you, or I asked you, because people watching might be looking, thinking, well, she's a powerful, successful woman, like, how does she do it? And maybe I can learn something from her. Maybe I can emulate her success, right? So if I said to you, prior to Bali, courage, like, if you look back into your past, where would you say it came from and what caused it?
Right. When I was in Jakarta, I worked for a big advertising agency where we are talking about industry, we're talking about branding, we're talking about strategy to put a product up in the open and then get the market and recruit the market. And when I got here, I don't see that vibe because people would probably a bit more into hospitality, serving, giving, putting their heart to the table, like that is something that I don't know basically. And then I thought I have this mini tickle on my head, like, why can't we look into the product that they produce? Is there anything else other than hospitality industry? Then I learned that I learned to share because my experience behind a brand become very useful because I see Balinese are so creative. I can see Balinese are so open for possibilities and open for new ideas. But then like everyone else, we don't want to try something new because hospitality been taking care of us. Hospitality business is giving us security. International market give us security here in Bali. So not so much challenge for creativity. So you coming back with the word courage. I brave enough to break that rule, saying that what if, what do we have around us that make Bali so unique? Is it only the beautiful nature, the beautiful people, or the potential that we have not tapped? So coming from branding industry, coming from product that goes to the market, then I thought I like to share. I don't have so much at that stage, but then togetherness, openness, discussion open many doors for us to grow and, making it an impact.
Love the impact. So then you mentioned Jakarta, all right? We'll do one more and then we'll come forwards. So Jakarta, tell me a little bit more, share a little bit more. So, your family, were you the only kid?
Oh,
were there
dear.
more of you? Like were you what we call, right?
Oh, dear.
Were you what we call
right.
the runt of the litter?
Oh, dear.
So now let me explain
dear.
that. So runt of the litter. So Maria and I, we have two kids, right? The older one is very sensitive,
yes,
right?
yes.
And the younger one is like a bull in a china shop,
right?
Like, but very, very strong-minded, very strong-willed, very intelligent and smart. And she has her way, and she won't be pushed in either direction unless it falls in line with what she believes. So we're talking now the younger Yoke, because we see the one now, we get you.
Oh dear.
But we're talking about the young kid. What were you like?
Seriously, you asked that question.
Yes.
I'm gonna start with my name. My name is Yoke. But it's spelled Joke. What are you talking about? Seriously, I did ask my mom, like, how could you do this to me? So Miss Joke over there, so since I was a kid, I tried to brand myself as being funny because my name is Joke. Yeah. But my dad believed that I'm funny, everybody think I'm funny. So I search for something that always make people laugh and make people kind of like very entertaining in a way. Yeah. But that start with a joke, right?
Got it.
And then I grown up among huge competition in our family because I'm number 5 among 6 girls. 6 girls. Yes, and my poor dad is so beautiful, and he tried to rule us. He's from a military background, so he said, like, ladies, whatever happened, do not borrow from each other because that is the source of fight. You know, like if you have kids, you know, like I borrow your bag and I forgot it and I left it there. But anyway, so it's always start with a discipline of belongings. You know, like so that's my dad, and we learn to respect higher sister, and then the highest the elder has to prioritize the younger one. So being number 5, of course, I always be the one that got the privilege of being right? So I'm funny, and I always can get away with murder.
You know what? Like, the people that know you, I don't believe knew that about you, and now I can see in their minds like, it's
Now
like the penny drops, because like that's why I like going back there, because when you go back there, you get to see why you are who you are right now. So as soon as you said that, like, and we have things in common, right? So I was the youngest, and I grew up in two children's homes in London, right? But 18 kids at any one time. I was always the youngest one, and I got away with murder as well. I was naughty, and I'm not saying you were, but I'm sure you were. But I got away with murder as well. And Marina, who you obviously know, I'm bringing her up because she's here. You know, like, she was a younger one of 2, and I think she also got away with stuff that maybe her and came with a different view. So then I get that your dad with a military background. I get that. I get the fact that, you know, you were the young, and you know, you want to make people comfortable. You want to make people laugh, because when you're the youngest one, you're the one who can be the butt of everyone's joke. Because so you find a way to cope, like a way around it to bring people to you. And I get it. I absolutely get it. So bringing that forwards, you know, and let's talk about Saba Bay, and then we can go somewhere else. But like, how did you use over your life the ones that come into your mind? How did you use your charm, right, and the fact that you know you can get away with murder, right, for good measure?
Actually, when I met Ibu Mulyati, the owner, the founder of Saba Bay Winery, I own a consultancy already. So I own a consultancy called DNA. It's not the blueprint of human being, it's a blueprint of an organization. So I said, I'm using my PR and marketing communication strength to communicate a brand and a mission exterior to other people, but then I also have in the consultancy human resources program and strategy to get people ready on how to bring the best of the organization. So the DNA consultancy is actually on PR, marketing, and human resources, focusing on those 3. And then when I met Ibu Mulyati, I said to her, Ibu, I'm going to help you for 1 month because I can see the potential of her dream. She came with one sole mission, which is to be the bridge between the farmers, the grape growers in the north of Bali, and the market. So I said, Ibu, I have a lot of great idea. You know, like I said, if our dream bottle of wine is a lady, it got to be a lady, right? Cool. The lady got to be like an activist, you know, like you bring a message, you make a change, you have so passionate, but yet adventurous about making some changes. So that bottle is a woman that is, at that time, Beyonce was very famous. So I said, Yes, she's still famous. But I said an activist, you know, like an NGO kind of rah-rah, and then, but at the same time, Beyonce, you know, like, you got to be making some kind of like a crazy dress, crazy move, get the man to follow, you know, like impact. So she was laughing about it, and she thought that I'm a bit crazy. But I said, this is how I see it. So I show all these pictures about our future bottle, how the bottle gonna look like, and how the bottle will, a personality, brand personality, basically. Early stage, very early stage. This is back to 10 years ago. So now we talk to the farmers. Farmers in north of Bali has been suffering because every harvest people can only buy the grape for 500 rupiah per kilo. Impossible for them to even keep the land, and everybody is trying to buy their land, basically to turn it into villa. So we said we create a new campaign. Saya bangga menjadi petani anggur. With Avi Ghazali, she's also a brilliant lady. We create a video, Saya bangga menjadi petani anggur, which means I'm proud being the grape growers. So you got the farmers happy and proud being farmers. We got the brand that has a dream brand that has personality. There you go. We tell the world, and then with that mission and vision, you got the winemaker saying like, "Oh, that's so me." The people come to you. People come to you for a mission. People come to you because you are passionate about your mission. And people come to you because they feel connected. So I guess that is how I started.
Wow. What a great story. And, what also dawns on me is, apart from this like-mindedness I think we have in common, is, precisely what you did, what you created in DNA is exactly what you learned as a kid. How to bring people in, how to position yourself to
Such
survive.
a big competition of ladies.
Yes. So it's interesting, how that followed all the way through to your career. Because, quite often I think we're in this position, right, where, it's the Japanese concept of, I can't remember the name, but what it is that, what things do you love to do, that you're passionate about, that you're skilled to do, and how can you join those two things in a vocation or an activity that you can monetize, right? So with you have those skills, right? Those passions, and I see now how they all unite in DNA.
Yeah.
And Sababe and all the things that you've done. So it's interesting how how those little breadcrumbs, they lead somewhere.
Because I really, even talking about courage, going back to that question, you said, what brought me to set even a company, a consultancy of my own? Because I promised myself by 40 years, I will have my own consultancy. So I'm a lot more than 40, so don't start calculate. But
41.
41. All right. No, the company been there for a long time. So I said to myself, even when I was young, I have to brand myself. I have to brand myself to be able to stand out from the competition. I am good in communication, and I believe I can talk about it because I'm a dreamer. So I always able to connect many dots. I use a lot of metaphor. Maybe my partner gets sick of me creating this metaphor. Got nothing to do with anything, but that's
her
the way.
partner is here, by the way. I'm looking over. I'm just looking for this look, but he's like a poker player. He gave nothing away, and he's French. How does he do that?
All right. Well, dealing with French, I try to explain using a metaphor. I guess he can explain to after the show. But what I'm trying to say is, I find my way to express and explain a point that understood by many different level of thinking. You don't need to be a smart one. You don't need to be the most experienced, the richest, old, young. No, you use a metaphor that help people to connect to your message. So I guess my childhood just really makes sense for me to develop that skill. That skill is organic because it's called survival. And number two, when I was studying in Australia, my goodness, I study accounting. So I am an accountant, so I'm good in numbers.
Wow.
So when I was in school, being in that huge competition, I always have my way to talk to this lecturer. George, I need help. That's Miss Joke asking for help. So you have to create your own presence to make sure that whatever you do, you achieve whatever you do. Not in ambitious way, but in a clever way, like I guess I don't want to say that I'm bragging myself or this is what I do. No. I'm just saying that a message for everyone that use whatever you have, no matter how small, develop what you think that you believe is your skill. If your skill is on communication and is create an impact, grow from there, work on it and learn more, and then just take ownership of it. Something like that.
Yeah, you know what comes up is, this left side of the brain, logical, right side, creative, and you have both firing autonomously but also in unison, which is phenomenal, which I think I think guys say it's phenomenal, but I think most women go like, yeah, and? Yeah, well, this is what we do. Like, this is why we're supposed to, right?
Yes.
But question for you, and we'll get to that one in a minute, the other question that came, but, so we kind of know how you is in everything that you do, right? For you personally, we can see how that happened from childhood and all the way through. So how do you deal with problems, right? So the other part of you, which I really admire, is that you have this spirit or this will of like, you know what? Nothing is a problem. There's always a solution, right? So where did that come from?
Wow, that is a very good question, because my left brain helped me to create boxes. Box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4. But my right brain is helping me to connect all these boxes to create some kind of an impact. It's a bit scary, but I do have boxes on my head. So I'm saying that where it's come from is because I've been down, I've been, put in the corner because of my crazy ideas, because of my courage in doing so many different things. Too early at that time, too vocal, too just not right. I love to do some changes. If we normally do this, how about if we do differently? It's a bit weird in the thinking, because I like to challenge myself in a way. So I open my box and saying, what if we doing it differently? Still using the same logic, but in a creative way. So that's number one. I love to challenge myself to do something different. And that not only successful, but at least I'm learning. And number two, I thought you got to be who you are, yourself. You cannot pretend to be masculine, cannot. And sometimes it's okay to be innocent on your mind, innocent on your head, but able to express it in a young, fresh, humble way. I think there is number two. I love to keep myself as it is. I don't want to pretend that I know everything, and that make me able to ask questions, knock on everyone's door and asking for help. Like I did to you, I did ask you and knock on your door, because if you have a dream, you can't do it yourself.
That's another one. I know there's number 3 coming, but there's another one, which is, like one thing which I noticed about you as well was that, right? So we're working on a project which we'll get into, but here's the thing. So a lot of people, who are creative, have got this spark, are like, well, this idea needs to retain some autonomy. In other words, this idea is mine, and I don't really want to share it, and I'm going to work it all out.
Yeah.
I'm going to work it all out. But what I noticed about you, which I see as a huge strength, is that, you're absolutely able to ask.
Yep.
Right? And you ask it clear, straight, boom, guys, I need help with this. And okay, all right, what do you need help with? What does it need help? And you're able to articulate precisely the thing that you need help with.
Yes.
Which is very important.
Yes.
Right? Not saying help,
Yep.
but help with this
Yes.
in particular. You know, so I'm just agreeing with you, right? So there's 1, there's 2. Was there a number 3?
I love the idea to expect the unexpected. You know, like, for example, when, you know, pandemic has hit Bali for sure, right? I expect that we're gonna falling apart because we are here in Bali trained to serve.
Yeah.
We've been learning the beauty of hospitality industry, that consistency, discipline of serving, and doing things based on SOP. So I expect we're gonna shake, because most of us pray and wait until the door, the gate, international gate, is open for us to do business as usual.
Yeah.
So I said, I try my best to talk to the bureaucrat, to talk to the minister, to talk about economy creative, to talk about encouraging the Balinese to showcase other than tourism in terms of hospitality. Here comes the economy creative. Here comes things that we don't expect to become big. So I'm sure it will be fantastic if we get together and if we help the potential, start mapping what what Bali can do, start expecting other new things that will come out.
Just to let you know, guys, we lost the camera. Yeah. The camera's back. That's good. So we had a few technical issues tonight, but we keep going because the show must go on.
Yes.
So then what you were saying is that, you know, so talking to the tourism minister, Sandiuno, you know, and he shares the same desire, and what, even more than desire, he's committed to this creative economy developing in Bali as an alternate source to the hospitality industry that Bali relies upon, because now we're in a situation where we can't.
Yeah.
Right? So then, great segue actually. So then, you know, that brings us to Park 23, right? Which is a project that we're collaborating on.
Yeah.
But this idea that you have, which I think is brilliant, maybe you can explain it to the people here so they get an idea, because already they can see the left. I love this because, like, you are so instrumental and at the core of all of this, and it's leveraging your strengths, which I think is so important for people to see, because it inspires them as well to say, hey, you know what else can I do that will leverage my strengths, that I could then involve other people, leverage their strengths, we can do something, might be unique, might be powerful, or might fail, but let's give it a shot. So please explain to people, Park 23 Creative Hub, what's the initiative behind it?
Well, it started when I've been helping government on communication strategy, on how we tell the world about Bali. But I said we should not, like, please help us. No, we should not. We have our pride. We are resilient. We know what we are doing. But yes, the fact that there are a lot of potential that has not been tapped, we need to start mapping it. So we start to map, and I was fascinated on how the young group of community that look into film as economy creative potential, opening the door as the destination for filmmakers, for Indonesia as a destination for making films, and then all other young movement on filmmaking. And then I look into music, like the music from bamboo into the most electrical, complicated. You start to look into many different kind of things during pandemic. Everyone start to look into what do they have, So I said, how do we tie this all in? Because in my business, because we are from the Sabah winery. We have Sababe Distillery, which is Balinese spirit based from grapes. So Grappa has won an award, double gold in San Francisco. Vodka has infusion of nutmeg, all this uniqueness. And suddenly here comes arak makers. Everything suddenly come out during pandemic. Yeah. And you start hearing it, even though from home. Like a lot of things, people doing things. And then when I can come out because of my connection with the government, then I understand the potential of SME. I can see the community. I can see a lot of things. And then I met the management of Park 23. I said to them, what if we change the future of conventional mall into a creative hub? That means we are not waiting until the gate is open and business as usual. Can't expect business as usual. So we got to think about something else that makes sense. So when I said to them, and they say like, "Does that mean that we gonna have tenant, or are they gonna come back?" And I said, "Look at around you. If I may, is it okay to mention brand?"
Of course, yeah, please,
okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Starbucks Love. All different names, big names in the mall left because 2 years they can't do anything, can't do. So they left all their product there. They left their interior basically. So the mall basically empty. But the mall cannot close at that time because Park 23 on the 3rd level they have theater and they have co-working space. So the rest no tenant. So when I said, can I turn this into creative hub? And they said, like, what do you exactly have in mind? I said, I want a hub, a melting pot, when all community can come and feel brave enough to showcase what they have and brave enough to meet other people. Because don't forget, social skill become very, very fragile. Like people can say, hello, my name is not anymore. Like they get used to their gadget and hide behind their gadget. So when I said, I want to create this place into a place when people with the same vision can meet, people with the different talent can support and help and open up and start to talk. So here comes convincing.
Here comes the charm.
the management, okay, So I met this lady. Her name is Vicky Gozali, and Vicky and I putting this together. And I said to Vicky, let's make sure that we use this place for community, for festival, for people to meet. And then once the traffic are all here, the tenant or the potential businessman will say like, oh, they are my target market. I want to do business here. So basically we do it differently. Instead of waiting the business people come and they see no business, or we use the place as our playground so that those business that interested on music, the interest on fashion, film, gallery, craft, like they come and they see the potential to collaborate.
And for those of you, thank you, very well explained. For those of you maybe who are not here in Bali, but maybe from overseas, I guess, drink some water. You've done a lot of talking and you're doing so well. So mass market tourism was here prior to 2 years ago before COVID, as probably you know. And then it was a bit like the tap was turned off very quickly. So now a lot of these places which are, close to the airport, close to Kuta, went through extraordinary difficulties because their model was tourism.
Correct.
So Park 23 is such an example. It's a big mall. It's got 3 stories, and as Yoke said, pretty much everybody left except the top 2.
Yep.
And they had to stay open because of the top 2, the theater and so on. So now Park 23 Creative Hub right now is the entire bottom floor, and it's phenomenal what they've got going on, which we'll get into in a minute. And then obviously the second floor is free, and you have some available spaces. So,
Correct.
so if you are in the creative tourism or the creative economy, and you're looking for a place to call home, a place where you can interact with other creative minds, we'll definitely leave your details. We're not finished yet.
Yay.
So,
Not
so
yet.
actually, how can they get in touch with you? If people are here saying, you know what, that sounds great, where can I see it, and how can I get in touch to maybe become a contributor to it? What would you say?
All right. Park 23 is actually, you can certainly find us from Instagram, and you can certainly find me there, because I have a place called Double Sip. You know how when you drink, you see people double? So it's actually a wine bar, and actually also an arak bar. I will tell you a bit about arak later, but do please come to me, because the young community come to me and they start bidding, they start proposing, they start pitching, they start talking to me about their ideas. If the idea is something that is fun to explore, then I get other people to help, so that they're immediately able to connect other sources. Yeah. So I have a table in Double Sip that I call a commune table, when people just come and then hopefully meet other people, and then from there they discuss about possibilities. Yeah. And then, is it free? Yes, it's free at the moment, because I want them to make use of the space, because they are not the target tenant. So they are free. But of course, if you own a music store, or if you own camera store, and certainly you feel, I need to be there, because this is the place where you can get all these people to come. So yes, it's free, and yes, it's a place when people can do festival. Yes, it's a place when people can meet on a regular basis. My first event, festival that we have there is Bali Film Festival, International Film Festival. The Bali has been running the festival around 13 times, if I'm not mistaken. And Deborah, the founder, trusts us to host it in Park 23. So there you go. You bring all these filmmakers from Jakarta, from all over. Not so much for international because of the situation, but we got all these filmmakers from Jakarta, from all over Indonesia come, and they see the place. And now, as an output from that one festival, every Saturday the kids showcase their film. They have a place when we call it green room hall, where people just showcase their film, and they bring their own. It's just a grass. They bring their own pillow. They bring their own mat, and they watch movie, and they talk about it. They talk about the movie that created by their friend that they just met there. So that is the output. Just one example. From one international festival into a community that activated, and hopefully have enough knowledge, have connection. Producer, director come and give a talk. NFT was talking. They got brief about NFT. Things that happen. That is about film. And then another one right now. We have this beautiful exhibition done by Wawan Gondrong.
Amazing. Yeah.
Wawan is basically from somewhere in Tegalalang. He's an artist from Bangkok, or from how do you call it? From like Jang Park, is that yes? So we connect all metals into a robot, into a hero figures. He basically creating something out of nothing.
Yeah, so so I've been there for this, and he's a world-class artist who uses recycled metals that you find lying around and creates incredible art, sculptures, and functional items that you can use every day.
Absolutely.
It's phenomenal.
So from there you go. The whole community, every day people come just to look into that art piece and say like, oh, you you don't stop your dream there because of pandemic. You can create other way and just look into around you. So kids come there and they talk about it. They have a little discussion, and it's nice. It's nice.
I mean, you've done, by the way, Ayub, maybe the third microphone in case people have some questions. I feel some questions from this region over here coming. So what you've done in the last, I think, 6 or 7 months, you've transformed this empty, for want of a better term, dead space into something that's vibrant, that's lively, that has an incredible energy of vortex, really, to bring in these creative energies. And those rooms that you've created are really quite unique, picturesque, and visually impactful. I can't describe it any better than that. Visually impactful, and it's worth taking the time to go and visit. And it's open seven days a week. And the exhibition's on for the next month, right? And look, what we've also been discussing is that, have a few friends, and part of what I love doing is, how do we activate Bali? How do we, use these great networks of people which are here in Bali to create phenomenal, not itineraries, phenomenal initiatives which lift everything up. So one such person is JP Iglin, who we introduced you to.
Oh, I love
JP
him.
is an amazing guy. And JP, for those of you who don't know, he created the world's, I think, the 5th largest mural festival in the world, right?
Correct.
Takes place in New Mexico, called Mural Fest. One other guy, Wayne Thompson, who's a founder of The Funding, which is this incredible platform for Indonesian and local businesses, like a Shark Tank with a reality TV show attached, to promote themselves, to pitch for business and funding and investment to become brands which blow up. And he also is he started, which releases in about a month or so, the very first Indonesian inspired business to business platform like Alibaba, which will be absolutely huge. So for the first time ever, people from outside of Indonesia can do business-to-business transactions online, right? So it cuts out the middleman and all of that, which will open up phenomenal windows of opportunity for Indonesian artists across the spectrum. So the idea here is to, again, leverage, because we all have the same heart, energy, and so on, is to leverage the skills and create the opportunities to really give, just your husband Pascal is just out the corner of my eye, and like those artists like Wawan, what a phenomenal artist. And to have someone like that exposed to the rest of the world, I mean, this is a creative economy. This is what we feel can really be a sustainable solution, one of them, to really embrace this whole creative economy here in Bali.
And I want one day Gwen to showcase the potential of Indonesia or the artists offline here in the place, because I think it's also like a snowball, like one inspiration and people can just be giving energy for others to, okay, I can do that too. This is like we try to wake everybody's up, especially those who has that potential within themselves, because we have to regenerate the young artists too, because the older artists, big sculpture, and the young are they just following the father initiation to do that, or they go beyond that. So just take one example of bamboo, for example. If you see bamboo work, and it has been for quite a while kind of the same and consistent. And now I met this beautiful man that just got back from Dubai. His name is Gabriel Bagus. He's actually here. Bagus was basically hired by architect in Dubai to do bamboo structure with a unique technical system So I said to him, initiated by Jogja team, Romo Banar and Samuel, who are my dear friend when I used some event and festival there. And he said, let's bring Bagus to showcase what can be done. So there you go. So he built the beehive. Start with the word. It actually means beehive. Beehive.
You're good.
Yes, right in the middle of the atrium of Park 23, using a very fun technique of a bamboo stick. And also about bamboo, there is bambusa, which is learning the 800 years of technique using bamboo, and a beautiful, beautiful art piece there in the park. If you see that, then you see, bamboo can go from one end, the most rustic, into the most sophisticated. So that is an inspiration. Wow. We want the bamboo artists to say, excuse me, I have much better product. Oh, you show it to me. I love that. And, I would love just somebody drop their name in a double zip, send a message, I'll reach them, or they can reach me anytime at any, I'm not difficult to find. Yoke Darmawan, don't start with the joke.
I know. So look, we
why okay?
I know why. As I said, Jay. No. So then, look. Questions, if you have them, remember, no question is too silly, because sometimes when people think about questions, they think, I couldn't ask her that. Yeah. I can't ask that. But remember, you can, because if you've got the idea in your head or the question in your mind, probably someone else has as well.
Yeah.
But maybe they won't be having the courage to ask. So you're doing them a favor as well. So look, we've been through lots. We've been through a whole journey, your childhood, how that leveraged and dovetailed into what you do for a living, what drives you, where the creative economy is coming in, which is tonight is about that. But one of the things that kind of hangs with me is this, what you said earlier on about getting away with murder. Why is that sticking with me? I don't know. But why is it sticking with me? I don't know. But here it is. And remember, be honest, right? Which I know you are. Okay. When was, and whatever comes up first, was the time that being like you are landed you in trouble? And how did you get away with that?
Well, that's a very difficult question. Well, I always think as much as you want to be creative, it's about how it's supposed to be sustained. You got to have the funding. You got to think about how would that be sustainable for the person, for other people, for the company. So I said, I sometimes put myself in danger for this. Number one, the latest one, even in the Park 23, because I said, okay, I put myself I put my face there, because I said, I can guarantee this will work. I actually not so sure at the beginning. I was like, but I said, I can get away with this. So the first month, of course, the management say, hello, Yoke. How are you? How's everything? And I said, we're going to get there. Don't worry. Month number 2, I need to do a presentation. My presentation, because I know this will take a while. So no dreams an instant. It got to take a while until it's getting it right. So I get away with a new trust, a new funding. I got a bit of a fun to actually make the festival continuously hosting all this creative mind to explore. They don't need to know my problem. They don't need to know the struggle, the challenge behind it. All they need to do, there is a place, a venue, a place where they can feel home, a melting pot, from whatever place you come from. You create an integration. You create a discussion. So, I got it. So I think I'm gonna hang at the Park 23 for a while. I still haven't got a lot of tenant there, but I still.
But it looks great. Like it looks
I want
great. You feel
people
it.
to start with saying, okay, I believe in this woman. Let me invest on. Yeah, so that's it.
Got it.
So I still there.
Yeah, but it's working already. So
Yes.
I see it, and we got some
Yes,
people
it's
involved.
getting there.
We're going to move it. Question. So most of the time, we in life can kind of get sucked into, what we see is what we believe.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like a master at work.
Yeah.
Looks effortless, like a bit like a duck
Yes.
or a swan.
Yes.
The top part of the water is just serene and calm and
Yeah.
da-da-da-da-da-da. And under the water, the legs are going nuts, right? And like there's, So, and we watched, Marina and I, we watched this documentary the other night about, I keep thinking Lady Gaga, but it wasn't Gaga. It was Paris. Yeah,
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton. It's a phenomenal documentary, by the way, guys. She's really not who you think she is in many ways. But what it was this understanding of a mask, right? A mask that we put on. And we do it to not only protect ourselves, but to, like the future's not set. Our words become flesh. What we say now becomes the future that then becomes the new present.
Yep.
Right? Okay. So what we do is we speak into existence the things that we want.
Yeah.
Okay. So now behind this mask, which was revealed in this documentary, was a person who's very different to the one we see publicly. And when we got into her background and her childhood, we could really see that there was some very disturbing stuff that was going on. And you can see what drives her to become a billionaire and more and more and more and more and more. And then I remember for me personally, right, when I was running clubs, we had one venture, it was running number 3 in the world, right, for years in Sydney. I was wearing multiple masks, like more than I can remember. So for example, if I saw, we've got the beautiful Ayub right in front of me now. If I saw Ayub, last time I saw him, who was I being? I was being the cool guy. So next time I see him, I would be the same guy, the cool guy. If I saw Guido over here and I was being the deep and meaningful guy, the next time I see him, I would be that, and so on and so on and so on. So I was wearing all of these masks. And at one point, I said, you know what? I'm done, because it's so exhausting, 10, 15 years, a little bit more of doing this. Very successful, but I was exhausted. Okay, so here comes the question. So there's people looking at you now and see you as a swan. Right? On the top, they see the beautiful smile. They see, this woman is beautiful and going about her business with aplomb. Aplomb is a word which is like with ease, right? With her own sense of ease, right? So, but what we try and do on the show is that we try and show what really happens with people, because then that's the inspiration, not the but this is the shit that I've been dealing with, and you know what? I'm not always sure I'm going to make it, but I keep going, and this is how I do it, right? So, if I asked you, does Yoke wear a mask? Number one, if she does, what kind of mask is it? And the last question to that would be, what's the future for that mask?
Oh my goodness! Did my partner ask you to ask that question?
No, he didn't. These questions are dropped.
I'm sure he did.
All right, he didn't. But why didn't you, man? You should have told me.
All right. For me, because of my work, I have few clients to take care. I have government. I have government relations, marketing relations, internal relations, farmers relations. You name it. Creative relations, meaning that every time, every day, I have to deal with many different group of people. But I actually stay the same of who I am for a purpose. When it comes to getting people to move, I don't because it will be tiring. I don't prepare sometimes for my meetings. I ask them questions so that they come like, okay, what do you have? What do you have to? What do you have to? Like all the then I move to another meeting. But by doing it, I really believe I don't need to be such a problem solver, But my head is always have been working on a problem-solving method. So by doing it, I'm hoping that people start to be empowered to do their own decision. And then when I have all this problem solving on my head and I can express it, and of course I'm gonna come to my partner, gonna go like, I hate this situation, I could have done this, I could have done faster, I could have done many different things. So it's nice to have a partner to talk and express your frustration, your challenge, your being vulnerable. So I said to him one time, when I tell you my problem, I don't ask you to solve it because I have it here. So I'm just being vulnerable. I want you to listen. So that is the we compromise. So, because if he start to give me solution, I said, I know that already. So that is the agreement that I said, I'm being vulnerable. I need to be vulnerable because I have to be strong for many people. But you make an agreement. So we have made so many agreements with my partner. He can call me on the weekend, Yoko, where are you staying? Where are you? Oh, I'm driving to Ubud and I'm staying overnight. Oh okay. Not coming back? Oh, no, I'm staying overnight. But you have no suitcase or any, and nothing. I'm just buying a sarong and that's it. I'm staying. Sometimes in Karangasem, Ubud. So for him to understand the way I think, it's compromise. So in relationship, I think you need somebody to actually there for you. And I know he always there for me. Sometimes I'm being unfair for him. I'm saying this so because he's listening, but I have to put a lot of mass to be their strength, the team strength. But doesn't mean that I am a problem solver for them. I want them to empowered. So that is but because problem solver are here, so when I express it, it's not to get people to solve my issue, but actually I want to be vulnerable. I like to drive. I like to listen to music. I like to go crazy a little bit. So that is my vulnerable side. That is number one. What is the future? The future, I want, of course, to continue doing a lot of things for people, and I want them to feel that they have the power to think for themselves, not being told of what to do, and as if that problem solving is come from them, because I can't let go too fast. They have to think it themselves. So if they come out and said, think about it. What do you think about this? Think about it. I can't wait to just give them solution and get this done. But I can't do that. I want them to grow. So the future is I need to have a punch back. No. For me, I'm okay. I'm okay to be to go this way, and then to have my own getaway place, my own getaway time, my own space to just digest, and then stick to what I believe for the sake of others, creating an impact.
Love that, Yoke. It's wow. And are you really hard on yourself?
Impatient.
In general, yeah.
Because I'm impatient. I have to hold my horse. I have so many horses. I love to go fast. I can't think. When I have to do it myself, I go very fast. I go, okay, this is what needs to be done. This is it. But when it comes to community, when it comes to people, then I have to hold my horse, because you can't be the problem solver or the key solution. You cannot. Or otherwise you don't grow this concept of economic creative, or you don't even grow this concept of sustainable growth or living.
Got it. And then, so if someone was watching you now and saying, okay, I've listened to her, I get her, I love her, what would you say? 2-point question here. I want to be more like you, right? self-expressed, the success, like strong in my own views, have my time, and all of this. So if it's a two-step process, like number one, what are the qualities that you think or feel are really important for someone to cultivate? Okay, the qualities to cultivate is number one. And then number two would be, like what would be the steps or the first few steps to making that become a reality?
Before I share that, I actually, I started like this. You need to find someone who the same mind like. And I have my daughter, she lives in Melbourne. She's 30 years old. Oh no, now it starts to... oh no.
No one's running the numbers here, are they?
Okay, don't run in the numbers.
Quick calculator. 441.
But this girl has been, I'm a dragon, she's a monkey. Like we've been playing this thinking, throwing ideas, like we go all the time, like same mind like, but different perspective in many different way, but she's into detail oriented and I'm into
big picture.
big pictures, and then she's into many different way, but it's a good practice. So I said, what is the quality needed, or I think practicing different kind of circumstances. You need to practice. You can't be fantastic one time. You can't be excellent right now. But you have to, in one point, saying that I want to be able to be a leaders that inspiring leaders. Transform myself. I could be a dominant leader now, but you make yourself a commitment that you're gonna listen more. A big challenge. I have to hold myself like crazy. But my little girl, her name is Tasha, and she always said, "Mom, like well done, like well done, like she believed, she believed in me because she really knows that when I want something, I want it now. But then throughout the process, so number one, allowing yourself to commit on a new you, commit a new process. Regardless, it's probably rocky road. It doesn't matter. Practice all the time. I fail all the time. Doesn't matter. But there you go. Inspiring leadership, meaning that you want someone else to one day able to lead their own team, their own world, right? Yes, that was the first question, no?
Yeah,
yes.
And then the second part of the question was, what step or steps can people take to start to live into that reality?
All right, and number two, mapping. Always mapping, what is available around you. I love the idea of mapping because talking about market, you start to map how do they behave, I guess this is an old learning, because if you want to bring one product, you start to mapping the market, you start to mark the road to the market, you start mapping it. I think mapping is very important. How do the mapping start? Mapping is just take a piece of paper and just start write. This is a possible market. This is something that has not been touched. This is something that can be developed. This is probably, just playing with the mind mapping.
And then there's two questions that come up. Why tonight's all about twos? I don't know why, but anyway, I go with it.
Murder.
Two masks at once. So the first part is that so you mentioned maybe 4 or 5 times about failure, right? Now, for a lot of people, failure stops them. Yeah. Right, failure is like the end destination. I failed, shit, and I'm going to step back. I'm not going to go for it, because in all of your language, is all about commit. put yourself, like with Park 23, I'm going to commit and put myself there. I'm going to be there. My face is there. If it fails, it fails, but I'm going to do it, right? I'm going to put myself in 100%. I'm going to go for it. So then the first part to the question is, like, how do you deal with failure? Let's do it one at a time. So we'll start with that one. So how do you deal with failure?
You can laugh loud, but I have this friend I call God. God, I need $3,000. How do I get there? So I always visualize what I need, exactly what I need. Because I really believe if you know exactly what you need, how much money you need to do something, you mention it, an exact number, how to get there. So I really believe, send me your troops. So I sometimes have this crazy idea, like I really believe God will help. But in my experience, I've been experienced this, so I really believe Bali take care of me, God take a good care of me, everything is being taken care of, so no fear. So I just say it, like sometimes I complain like, how come it's real 3,000? Can't you give me a bit more? As what you need. So never excess, but exactly what needed. It sounds a bit weird, yeah.
Nope,
but that is
don't
my
sound
experience.
Yeah.
But I that's why I said I've been very careful to explain about this because people would think like, oh yeah. But if you experience it and you know His presence and you know it's possible, it's probably your own drive. It's probably once you verbalize it and you're really keen on it, and it's just like clarity is coming. That's it.
I love it. It's a good reminder there's a few things that I'm going on right now, so it's a good reminder. Thank you.
God,
Personally,
can you give me $3,000 please? Now.
for this, right? So the second part of the question, and then we'll go if anyone has any questions.
Yep.
So it was, nuggets of wisdom. You've been a mum, which I was going to bring up. I'm glad you did, right? So you've gone through that whole experience. She's 30 years old. Tasha lives in Melbourne, and I love the dragon energy and so on. It's great. So you've done a lot of things. I love your command of English, by the way. It's not even your first language. You're expressing yourself perfectly and wonderfully, so it's really good. Just want to just remark upon it and not congratulate, just to recognize that, right?
Thank you.
So nuggets of wisdom. Whatever comes up for you, maybe people watching now saying, I get her. I've got all these other little checkpoints. I've made some notes, but give me more. Like what? If someone asked you, Yoke, if it's 3, if you make 3, it's okay. If not, it's okay. But if there's 3 nuggets of wisdom for life, what would they be?
Being passionate. Number 1 for me, being passionate about whatever you want to do. Just be passionate about doing things, doing it till the end. Not passionate about one thing and then that's it. Because if you're passionate about beauty, go to the max. If you're passionate about supporting others, go to the max, regardless whatever challenges in the middle. So just being passionate. Being passionate is spreading, like you share your passion and others feel encouraged to do other things. And I think being passionate is one thing that I always share. I'm passionate about a lot of things. So I do a lot of things. And then number 2, be genuine. You don't need to be Miss Perfect. You don't need to be Miss, know everything. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be difficult and persistence and resilience at the same time, be genuine, just be yourself. And I think people accept me sometimes on my stupid ideas, on my stupid questions, on my innocent presence, and it's okay to be who you are. You don't need to be someone else to influence others. And passionate, and I think be genuine. And number 3, for me, make some changes, even the mini way. I love to take if I go this road this way all the time, this time I want to go the other way, maybe longer. I take a different road all the time. I just challenge myself for something. And why not? They always on my head. Always, why not? If you always go this way, why not go this way? If you always doing it this way, why not? So why not is a why not? Why not? You gain something always. You know that way is a big traffic jam, but with traffic jam, you see around right and left, and you see a shop that you like, and that is a new thing.
Got it.
And it's always fun.
I love it.
Yay.
Love it. Mamma mia.
A big shop.
Yeah, one thing that came up, and we're reaching towards the end.
Yes.
But one thing that came up was that so I listened to a lot of podcasts, the Blinkist books, 15 minutes in the morning. You get books in there, and one of the latest things that is coming across me is this that we've spoken about tonight, which is about words become flesh, right? Words. So what we say about ourselves becomes. So it's like the subconscious mind is always on, never off. So what you say to yourself, you become. If you say it that many times, the repetition is kind of how it gets up there or in there. And so what is the subconscious mind? It's like when you learn how to drive a car and your conscious mind is completely engulfed in trying to work out how does the brake, clutch, accelerator, steering wheel, other people on the road, what the heck, how does it all work? And and then maybe a year or two later, it's like, yeah, I got this. Yes. And then you drive to work forgetting how you even got there. You're talking on the phone, even though you probably shouldn't. You're doing all these other things, multitasking while you're driving, this complex procedure with ease now, because it's now in your subconscious mind. It's repetition, emotion goes in. So now my conscious mind is free to do other things.
Yep.
And that's why I can multitask when I'm driving. So taking that on, the things that we say to ourselves about ourselves, we become. So if we say, for example, I'm never going to get this right, I'm a dumbass, I'm da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. If we say this enough times, the subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between this is good for him or her or this is bad for him or her. It just is. It's like a genie with a magic lamp, and you rub it and it comes out, your wish is my command. I'm an idiot. Okay, there you go. Here's some more experiences to show you that you're an idiot, right? So I'm noticing within me that there's things which I say and I'm like, oh my God, and I'm trying to catch myself just to stop it and eradicate that from my language. So with that said, and remember, it's all constructive up here. I notice that you said maybe 4 or 5 times about, I ask stupid questions. Now, here's the thing, like straight up, your questions are not stupid. They're the opposite, actually, because what they do is that they give, as you said, the ability to enable people to take choices, reactions, responses for themselves, to take responsibility, which is what you set out to do, which you said, I want to empower people to make changes for themselves. And that's exactly what you're doing. So I would, again, not a criticism, I'm just in this bubble right now of noticing that, but I just wanted to point it out, just for that reason. You do what you want with it, but I just noticed that. So are there any other questions, or any questions from anybody here? Adrian, I know that you have. So are you, if you can pass the microphone over here to Brother Adrian. Yeah. By the way, you're amazing.
Oh,
Killing the game. Killing the game. See, killing the game. What does that mean? I don't know. I don't know.
Yes.
Hey, okay. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Go straight in.
I've been to Park 23 and I went to Double Sip.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I love the space, but I can see there's a lot of potential. I had the arak with the Jamut arak.
Oh my God, isn't it nice?
Yeah, it was really nice. I joked with the bartender. I think this is an anti-COVID arak.
Anti-COVID arak, absolutely.
That's right. Yeah, I love what you're trying to achieve there. And it was still quiet, and a lot of shops were still closed, but I could see that it was the start of something.
How long ago?
I think 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Come.
really great to meet with you tonight. So my question is, so I've been in Bali 8 years, and I agree with you in terms of the culture of serving here. And I've benefited from, having receive the service, and I also agree that going forward it's not business as usual. So I'm not Balinese or even Indonesian. So having received all that service, I want to give back. I want to serve, and I love what you're saying about the the new creative economy. So is there an opportunity for the likes of myself to give back, collaborate, serve, mentor, whatever it is, to this younger generation that you're trying to promote?
Now, before you answer that question, so Adrian's another one that I was going to introduce you to. Wow. This guy is phenomenal, like a social entrepreneur, impact entrepreneur, depth of experience in business, in sustainability, climate tech, blockchain, a phenomenal man. He's been on Speak Up Monday as well, but I've known him for a number of years, and and we're working on a project in Bongkasa, trying to get something up. So, getting something up and running there. But a phenomenal human, another phenomenal human, of which there are many in Bali. So just want to give Yoke just a bit of insight into what makes you you. So so the question is, how can you contribute to? Yeah. Got it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Give me your number.
Yeah, give me your number.
Okay.
Now.
That is exactly what I need, the reaction from people on how can we contribute. Because actually, just by initiating an event, you just say, I need a room, I need a room. That sounds...
Listen, guys, I don't know what to say to that. I think I know what she meant to say, but it's not what she said, was it?
No. I'm being myself. Remember, genuine. So I was saying that I need a venue or a corner or to talk about certain ideas. It's as simple as that, because we've been doing it, and then it's really nice that it's attract people who wants to know more about a project or an idea, an initiative. It could be about anything. So that's number one. So number one, we can just saying I'm available and on the 8th of March to talk about. I'm going to showcase, I'm going to bring people, and then that green room definitely going to be full with kids who love to know. So what we do is say hey guys, opportunity, we got someone who will help you on thinking beyond your norm. So that's number one. I think I don't have enough knowledge on myself to give them tools for tomorrow. I'm not coming from a fantastic No, I'm just someone who knows that I can connect dots. I know that I can encourage them to be brave, to empower them to see these possibilities. So I always tell friends and everybody to just see how possible it is to share. Yeah. I give an example of the gentleman here, Pascal. Pascal come with an idea. He said this space, I want to do this. Next, I want to do ceramics. I want to ceramics from the most rustic into the most sophisticated. I can bring all these people in Bali with their talent, market, experience, and competencies to bring the local from Lombok, very basic clay into the high-end international. So I go, yay, thank you. So that's it. And then I got few people just say oh, Yoke, we're gonna do playing with bamboo, playing with metal, great. Now, what is now? I'm trying to get people to look into digitalized painting.
Adrian's got that. What I was going to say also is that Adrian works with a enterprise or an initiative, a blockchain called Unit, and they're tokenizing, and he's also we're doing another project which is about NFTs, which is what you're talking about now, and how that whole thing works. And one thing which I'm going to do, if you permit me, to put it out there, put it into flesh, words become flesh. So we're talking, actually, I'll let you. So for G20, what is the mission?
Oh, this is interesting. I haven't mentioned about that, right? So, location of Park 23 is very interesting. Right opposite the military base. So it's actually quite safe. So people do it. Is it okay for me to say that?
You say everything you want.
But,
it's all good.
You know, like, because the place is safe, air conditioned, have a lot of venue, have a lot of corners to
Parking.
play. Parking is fantastic. So there's a lot of ideas that grow there. We are right now doing mapping, basically. Mapping of what we have. And let it grow organically, because we have time from now to October where G20 will be happening. But along the way, there's going to be Road to G20, which is, we are looking into the potential of Tabanan, potential of Karangasem, potential of Buleleng, which is part of the Regency of Bali. And imagine if now we start to bring people from Tabanan with their specialties. I saw a lot of arak maker from Karangasem, and they showcase their product. And suddenly we know Arabica from Cinnamon, was not mentioned before. So now we know, we have time just a little. That's why it's a hub, Even though it's still raw and it's still beginning, I said, it's okay. I have Natalie with this beautiful painting. She's a painter, gorgeous collection. And I said, Natalie, what would you like? Showcase here and talk about the healing painting. Yep, can. Why not? So that's it. And then I have Chef Made from Moxa, for example. And he said one powerful word, saying that I want to get everybody familiar with plant-based. That is for tomorrow. Brave enough, because the young right now eat differently. But the future, if we brave to introduce, then I got someone who actually will explain, not as a restaurant, but as a workshop place when people can get used to plant-based. Chef Ragil, there is this gentleman from, celebrity chef from Jakarta, who's saying, I'm going to open a new restaurant called Local Lala, which is everything by local, bringing the local flavor to, it's okay. So even though it's still raw and early, but you are the one that I will find, not a room.
A space.
A space, that's it.
In Park 23.
In Park 23. A space for you to explore and to give, to create an impact.
Adding to that as well, Adrian, so the idea is to create a best of Bali space for G20.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's
yes.
it. So then, how do we create that? By collaboration, by partnerships, by including some incredible people that we have here in Bali, or some which I've mentioned already. So this is the mission, the immediate mission before October, right?
I'm looking for digitalized painting. One maestro of Bali ready to digitalize his work and get the younger generation to appreciate. I mentioned to him, no, he passed away, sorry, the agent. I mentioned to the agent or the art dealer or the the person in charge.
I love you, Yoke.
I said to him,
hold it together.
What is your
Hold it together.
What is your KPI? I love to ask KPI. Like I am a KPI person. Key performance index. I have to. What is your KPI? He said, I want to sell as many painting of the maestro for the younger generation. And I said, younger generation know that it's something to make them proud. Yeah. And he said, that's our challenge, because we now showing all the collection of his latest collection. And I said, the collection that has not been owned by the collectors. And I said, but the younger generation will not look at it. Because nobody knows that it's 500 million or expensive or high-end. Right? So I said, how about educating mass market that painting worth 500 million? So when I am the son of the conglomerate, I said, oh, it's owned by me actually. So you educate the mass to create a viral, to create a buzz, that my God, that painting is so amazing, because it's not only digitalized, it's creating a huge setting. So you go inside the painting. I want to find somebody can help me to do that.
They might be watching this as we speak. So
come to me. Come to Mama, no?
Come to Mama. I love it. Come to Mama.
Come to Mama.
Adrian, is there any follow-up question that you may have, or are you satisfied for now?
Yeah, I was thinking an event like a weekend hackathon for local talent to come and create some software technology or blockchain solution for impacts, and run it out of Park 23 to attract that kind of talent and create that kind of vibe. And so merging technology with impact.
Oh my God, yes, emerging technology, get them geared themselves for tomorrow.
Upskill. Knowledge shares.
I would love that. And then please, thank you so much for trusting me and letting this be the future for the Balinese, for the younger generation here in the island. Because I know we from Bali, we can attract other young talent from Indonesia. Who doesn't want to live in Indonesia? And the kids, if they see and hear about you, and this will be the hub for them to exchange their knowledge. It's new tools.
Yeah. It's a win-win, and I think someone was saying to me the other day that Bali has the opportunity to be one of the first places to come out of this whole period of time with a reskilled, repurposed, knowledge shared, economy, and to show how that can actually work as a model that's actually in reality. It's not a theory. It's a test case, basically, right?
Correct. It's a hub. It's a place for test case, and then only the brave would go that far, because really we got to do it now. I think this is the time.
Proof of concept. Now look, I think that will, if we've got any more questions. Em.
Oh, you go first. Hello, Yoke.
Hello, Madame.
You mentioned a few times, and I know how creative your mind is, and also that you got so much ideas in your head. How do you prioritize? How do you pick which idea to go first? And, and what the process after that?
Idea pop up. It's called ideation, right? Does it work? Does it not work? It's only 20% out of the actual program, the actual happenings, because we can't create an idea and then make it all reality. So I always have a bank of idea to connect with other possibilities. So I think it's a bit cluttered on your head at the beginning, and then you write it down. Or I'm still an oldies generation, so I love to always have a pen and book in my bag. Yeah, me too, isn't it crazy?
Guilty.
And that is really, I scribble some great idea, and I start to connect that, and I start, yes, me too.
Adrian's all over that.
Yes, and then because I said, when you come up with an idea, it's still raw, but there's always road to go there, but not now. But you're gonna wait until there is one thing that might connect, and who is with the right talent, with the right skill, with the right experience can be part of the collaboration, because tomorrow is about collaboration. I always, like some while driving, oh, great idea. Like you write it down, that's it, and I close the book. I feel happy. And then when I open it again, oh, this can go with this one. So that it's always the process. I think we have to be careful with our mind also, because our mind sometimes trick us with so many different new clutters, and you cannot prioritize anything. But once you let it go, it will find its own way. So not all good ideas are great ideas. So, yes, you're welcome. Yes.
Yeah, going back to what you said about asking for help, I agree with you. Not going to the government and asking for help, but trying to create something, an initiative of your own. But I think there's still a role for government to enable and facilitate. So once you prove that you have something worthwhile that is good for the community and the economy, that I think they have a role to help make that flourish. So
yes.
In that respect, do you think there's anything that the local or national government that they could do to help facilitate and enable the new economy post-pandemic?
Right. Wonderful question. I always ask the same question, and then I think I come out with a new idea. Because I said, instead of me come out to them, giving a proposal, and I know the process on getting there, so I said, I changed my question. I said, what do you want to achieve? What is your KPI? Can I help you to achieve that so you look great? So that's how I probably changed my perception, my way of road to event. Number one, government, as being government, ministry level, of course they have all the deputy, they have system, they have everything is lined up, they have program. And I want my program to help and to support. If the beauty said, like, we are developing wellness, voila, wellness is what I'm working on. Then you find people who work on the wellness.
I've got some guys for wellness as well, actually, if you want.
Yes, and then wellness, and then you bring the talent. Chef Made, plant-based, perfect. And what is next? Sabah Bay, wine is for wellness. There you go. Winery tour to go. Because you know why? Nobody would think about winery as part of the wellness. But it's proven it's a new door to create an aha element in the worldwide international market. You have a winery tour. Oh wow, locally grown grapes. What grapes? The interest grow, but that is simply because we want to facilitate the wellness. Sport, yes, let's do Bali and Beyond Travel Fair into, instead of B2B, of business to business, let's create a track from one village to another. So it's a village tourism with sport dots for trekking, cycling. You know, like Bali has been a destination for all the cyclists, and they are golf. My goodness, golf. And then there you go. Next, what is your KPI? Sometimes the job, they need us, they need our help to make sure that whatever program that are budgeted are measurable, and deliverable. Something like that. Makes sense, yeah?
Yeah. Great answer.
Yes.
Now, does anyone else have any questions? Comments? Okay, cool. So look, I think what we'll do. Yeah. So Pascal, pass it to, so then we can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very interesting dialogue. You guys been particularly alive and interesting. So yes, the local creative economy has a lot of assets. We have a lot of resources. This Park 23 venue was a great venue. We have this fantastic 300 square meter gallery. We are developing a partnership also with an online media named craftsunitedbali.com. It's a new web magazine. It's a platform, it's an online platform, it's a web magazine that is particularly well written, well curated. So that's another thing that we need to consider, the mediatization. And as you said, I think really the key point of what we need, because we come from the real economy, I've been scouting, I've been managing exports of Indonesian-made crafts and arts and crafts and furnishings for a couple of decades all over the world. But I am an old world person when it comes to digitalization, when it comes to tokenization, when it comes to NFTs and emerging technologies. Basically, I think this is really the help that Yoke and the creative economy here really need, to have an impact. Even just an auction, a simple online auction, for instance, this Wawan Gondrong exhibition, there is a story behind, Rob. The story is there. The storytelling is there. Fantastic, happy story. But how we can create value? How we can create a business model that's going to be sustainable? That's really the question that we really need to be focused on too. Yeah. Making enough money, making enough funds, and a simple. If in a first thing, I don't want to be too long. Sorry. First thing, online auction. During the exhibition, if someone can help us to organize that, it would be a first step, because I know these things can go crazy high. And if we obtain the legitimacy, because if it's going to be for sale $500, nobody will care. But if ever we reach a certain price, then we can start to get the legitimacy, and then have an access to a higher level. So these are the kind of partnership that we wish we can find.
Yep, I forgot that the most important right now, we have the exhibition now in hand, and we have the support of media friends who just like grow and promoting and helping this talent. And I think we are happy to be able to curate the best art from nowhere. So it's new, it's fresh, it's unthinkable. And then the second one, of course, we've been talking about this auction, online auction. It's an idea that we can start to establish there. So by curating the good art, we can raise some funding to be able to continue this. Remember that I can get away with murder. So now from us, we can do whatever we want to do, and then let it be growing, let it be possible. Right now, the only thing I have is passion. The only thing I have to make it happen is really to knock so many friends' door, of friends' heart, to say like, okay, let's make use of that place, and then let's explore, and then contribute what you can contribute, because everybody can contribute. And thank you, Pascal, has always been there to watch, so we able to curate, and we able to continuously look into different talent, different possibilities.
Well, that's been a...
Oh, thanks, Rob, too. Rob, the one who inspired me. Thank you, Rob, for our meeting at the Green Room. Rob was saying, Yoke, share what you have in mind. Share what is tomorrow. Share how does it look like. I am able to tell you how does it look like tomorrow. Not now, tomorrow I'm gonna get everybody is just integrated, and then I have this beautiful stage right in the middle of the atrium, and suddenly I have a group of people, 30 people, going to do a special dinner, long table dinner, right in the mall. Never happened that before. But those people with idea, okay, how about if we have cappella singer from the second floor? Why not? Pairing with wine sababe and have all this arak cocktail to introduce curated, locally produced arak. Yes. 30.
Adrian's going to be
only 30 seats, and we thought, why not? Dim the light, have the candle right in front of the stage. Exactly. It's like in the mall.
Night in the museum becomes night in the mall.
In the mall.
Or creative hub. Night in a creative hub.
Creative hub. That's nice. That. It's just an example.
Yeah.
What creative idea could be done. And then said, I have this music store, Andika, the music.
It's amazing.
And then he collect all the
music,
vinyl.
The vinyl, which I used to collect.
Oh, yes.
This guy goes extremely deep, from bebop to jazz to disco to funk to soul, hip hop. Like he's got going way back.
Oh, you have to see his collection.
Yeah.
And then we can have one room, which is used to be a room for Adidas, turn it into poster rooms, have the DJ table, a bit of a drink. There you go. It's kind of like a speakeasy kind of place.
Park 23 Creative Hub.
Yes.
Found in
Jalan Kediri, Tuban, close to the airport, 10 minutes from the airport.
Wonderful.
Park 23.
And you'll find it online, Park 23 Creative Hub.
Yes.
On all of your social media handles.
You just find me, or you can, of course, find me at Yoke Darmawan on Facebook. I'm not an Instagram girl, I don't like posting everything. I'm just being myself. And I thought it's a nice way to just keep a little you,
a little bit of you back.
Yes,
right.
Yes. But find me at my Instagram, YOKE, not JOKE. Thank you.
Yeah, and look, just so because Yoke, it's your first time. So how we end the show in about 3 minutes.
Okay.
So you will have the opportunity to close the show. So you can do what you like. Basically, it might be reiterating something that you've said already that just feels like I want to repeat this. I feel it's really important for people to understand. It could be something completely different that you haven't spoken about yet and you always wanted to. Or it could be, like a call out. This is what we need. Bang, 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 bang. If you can help, contact us. Whatever you want to do, right? In about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, roughly. So for those of you watching, remember we're here every Monday, 6:30 at Tropical Nomad, which is in Canggu. An incredible space. Great friend Ichi Yamada is one of the owners here, and the team for Tropical Nomad tonight. We've got Brother Ayub. Thank you very much. Appreciated. Brother Guzman over there. Thank you, Brother Guzman. The spirit of Bella lives on. If you're watching watching, Bella, the spirit is still here, the spirit of Bella. And look, so as you know, we have a few things. So in no particular order. So tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for the US market, we have Speak Up Clubhouse, which is all about, it's a real people, real stories, real solutions, real challenges. And tomorrow's room is about succeeding about success. Now, also tomorrow here in Bali, if you're here in Bali tomorrow, so I'll be co-hosting a sacred special event about 350 years in the making. And you heard correctly, 350 years in the making. And co-hosting with a great friend, his name is Erawan, who's the king of Karambatan, which is in Tabanan.
Yes.
So he's, if you want anything in Tabanan, like
yes.
Erawan is incredible, right?
Yes.
Beautiful man. So that will be at the Royal Palace tomorrow. Now you are welcome to join 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Limited spots, but if you want to know more, get in touch or just come on the day. We do have some availability left. Now what it is, it's the unlocking of the lontar for the royal family. Now a lontar, I see it as a little bit like a scroll for those in the West, like the scrolls were discovered. And these lontars, they basically go deep into the everyday culture of Bali, specifically the royal family's lontar, which goes into all aspects of life, giving you not the ground rules but guidance on exactly what to do in which particular situation. It's written in Sanskrit, so tomorrow will be an expert who will translate from Sanskrit into Bahasa, then Bahasa into English. That will happen live, which is phenomenal. And then we also get the chance to choose which area you want to look into. So this is deep within Balinese culture, and again 350 years, so this is a multi-generational event, so it's extremely rare, right? So you have an opportunity to come to that tomorrow, and again it's at the Royal Palace in Karambatan. So more than welcome to join us there. If you want more information, just send me a DM or to Speak Up Monday, and we can get onto it. Otherwise, just come. 10 o'clock is fine. And there'll also be a trance dance, which is something that you very rarely get to see in Bali as well. And there'll be a bunch of really insightful people who are united by the same thing, expats as well as locals. And obviously, we're guests here. I'm talking to the expats now. We're guests here, so this is an extremely strong privilege for us to be part of this, to have a view and to hear what it has to say. Now, take a breath. There you go. In the meantime, we're back here next Monday, as I mentioned already, with another incredible guest. And I think next Monday, if I'm not mistaken, will be an incredible guy who works very strongly in the Desa of Ubud from memory, and he's a guy who's like the business activator. Again, he's done some phenomenal things for this particular region of Ubud, and I think he's going to be Wayan. I think he'll be here next week, if I'm not mistaken. But join Speak Up Monday, one word, on Instagram, then on Facebook, it's Speak Up, one word, then Monday. Join us there to find out more information. And as I said, we're approaching very quickly episode 250.
Wow.
So it's been a phenomenal. We never dreamed it would go this far, and it's got no signs of stopping. We're just going to get better and better. So thank you again to Tropical Nomad. And now over to you. What an incredible woman you are, and I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
We did this within like 5 days. We had a spot. It's like, Yoke, Monday, you should come. She's like, okay, let's do it. Amazing. So so insightful. And, I love the advice that you've given, being a very strong, proud woman who's from Indonesia, and what you've been able to achieve, and the person that you stand for, the person that you are, is remarkable and inspiring to other women and men who are watching and who will see this once we share it. So thank you, darling. Really appreciate it. And Park 23, I'm so glad that we get a chance to collaborate and to work together, and with people like Adrian, who's I know is going to be part of it. JP, obviously Wayne Thompson from the funding, and JP from Mural Fest. There's some incredible people here. There's more coming, I guarantee it.
Yay.
And we're going to blow this out the park.
Fantastic.
So, deep breath. So over to you. If there's anything that's left, it could be reiterating something you've said already or something that's brand new and fresh. The stage is yours.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Rob. And I think purpose is so important in life, and I think creating a purpose for yourself is like creating a KPI in a company. You know, like once you define what you really, really want, you just add a bit of ingredients of passion maybe, and a bit of adventure, a bit of madness, and I think it's okay to start small. I think it's okay to be imperfect, or it's okay to make mistakes and learning from there. And then my appreciation, because I can see Sabah Bay Winery is like a place when people can just prove that locally produced wine is now feel at home, the local pride that people can enjoy, and it's all because of the integration of many different generations and support. Park 23 was born because just a passion and just the ability to connect people. I don't lead in front, I lead all the time. Yes, sometimes I do it from front, side, and from the back, and push everybody and get everybody to be empowered and do what they feel is best. So that's it. Just be yourself and be genuine and just be real about your own self competencies and share and give it as an impact. That's it. Thank you so much. That's it.
Thank you,
Terima kasih. Terima kasih.